Good evening, everyone. Myself, Senthilkumar, and I'm the research scholar of School of Planning and Architecture, Vijayawada, India. So, my research title for the conference is Influence of Built Environment on Neighborhood Walkability Towards an Inclusive Planning Framework for Residential Neighborhood in Chennai City. So, you all aware how the India is the developing countries and we have a lot of rapid population growth. So due to that, lot of urbanization is happening in the lot of cities in India. So due to that, lot of motorization demand to travel across the within the city or across the cities. So a lot of things has been developed over a period of time. So due to that, there is a lot of decline in walkability in the neighborhoods. So walkability is a key indicator for a livability and sustainable cities. So the support that supports the mobility and health and environment social interactions. The walking remains a primary mode of short trips in Indian cities. So current challenges in Indian cities which they are facing is inadequate and poorly maintained pedestrian infrastructure and unsafe crossing, lack of traffic calming, and encroachments and parking on the footpath and urban planning priorities vehicle over people. So the need for this study is to assess the neighborhood walkability in the Indian context and examine the built environment and pedestrian infrastructure, providing the evidence-based insights for the planners and the policymaker. So the improving walkability is essential for creating a healthy, inclusive, and equitable and sustainable urban environment. So the research gap is most of the walkability study which has been focused on the developed countries, and the limited neighborhood scale studies has been found. Developed in India. So lack of integrating GIS and field-based assessments, and limited focus on the community well-being, and need for context-sensitive assessment framework. So these are the five set of gaps which I have found and which is induced to me to develop the research paper. So my study of my aim is to assess the neighborhood walkability in Indian cities using the GIS-based approach and understand its relation with built environment characteristics. So I have five objectives. My first objective is to evaluate the walkability of neighborhoods in selected Indian cities using GIS-based tool. The second objective is examine and built environment. So to analyze the built environment characteristics associated with walkability. The third objective is to identify the key built environment factor that significantly influence the walkability. Fourth objective is to compare the walkability across different neighborhood and cities. And my fifth objective is to generate evidence-based insights to support walkable neighborhood planning and policy making. So in a way that I have designed my research is taking a three factor in my count. Like first one is built environment characteristics. So and the second one is pedestrian infrastructure conditions, and third one is spatial accessibility to urban amenities. So under the built environment characteristics, the land use pattern, street network, connectivity, and accessibility to destination. So these are the parameters which I have taken count. And in under the pedestrian infrastructure conditions, so it's like basically it's a field observations under that sidewalk, pathway, and crossing and safety features and street furniture, amenities, encroachment and obstruction and shade and greenery. Third indicator have a four parameter which is commercial area, public transportation modes, and park and open spaces and educational and institution facilities. So these are the key indicators and parameters which I have taken for the methodology of four different approach. One is spatial analysis through the GIS and field observation survey and walkability indicator and comprehensive evaluation. By integrating the spatial analysis with the ground level observation, the study offers the detailed evaluation of neighborhood walkability condition and their implications for the community well-being. So this is the and so I have done the study in two neighborhoods. So keep in mind. So because there is a lot of variations in the built environment. So in order to have a variations in the built environment conditions, so I have chosen the two different neighborhood in Chennai city itself. So one is the residential neighborhood which is influence the commercial activity, and other case area is a residential neighborhood which is influencing the institutional activity. So this is the way I have framed the criteria for each two different neighborhoods. So the criteria for first case is this, and this is how the through the ranking method I have arrived of Shagai Nagar as a case one. So which is influencing the residential neighborhood, which is influencing the commercial activity. And second case area is Indira Nagar, which is the residential neighborhood, which is influencing the institutional activity. So this is the data collection process and the analytical methods. So these are the various stages which I have done to understand. I mean, come up with the results. So now the results. So under the results, the first one is a spatial character of both the study area. So in that I have land use areas. So both the Chennai Nagar and Indira Nagar are predominantly residential neighborhood. The Chennai Nagar is surrounded by the commercial and mixed use area, creating the continuous pedestrian activity. The Indira, rather than the, I mean, otherwise, the Indira Nagar is surrounded by the mainly by institutional and employment oriented land use, resulting in time specific pedestrian movement. So next result is like a street network connectivity. So under the street network, I have taken the hierarchy of road and I have developed the analysis. So percentage of hierarchy of road. So through that, I the Chennai Nagar has a well-connected street network with smaller blocks also and higher intensity, higher interaction density. So in other case, the Indira Nagar has a larger block size and never fewer intersections, especially near institutional campuses. So the third result is pedestrian infrastructure condition. So in this, the list of data sets has been used, like certain data set has been used. So data sets like sidewalk width, sidewalk continuity, and sidewalk surface type, and sidewalk surface conditions, sidewalk obstructions, and presence of curb and presence of ramp. So through this, I can able to measure the quality and continuity of the walking infrastructure. So here, if you see the Nagar has a relative better sidewalk availability and wider pedestrian pathway along with the major street. In other case, the Nagar has narrow sidewalk and smaller street lack of formal pedestrian pathways. In fourth result is accessibility to the urban amenities. So here the list of data sets which I have used are the presence of ramp, presence of curb, and sidewalk with pedestrian crossing and signage pole. So through this, I can able to measure the inclusive accessibility. So here, if you see the public transport connectivity in the Chennai Nagar supports the walking and multimodal travel. And in other case, if you see limited neighborhood level commercial facilities in the Indira Nagar may increase the dependency of motor transportation. So and fifth result is like walking barrier. So in the data set which I have used is encroachment and vendor presence and obstructions in the pedestrian network. So with this, I can able to measure the hindrance and the barrier of the street. So both internal, both neighborhood faces the barrier that affects the pedestrian movement and comfort. So parking vehicles and the informal activity decrease the effective width of the pedestrian pathway here. The sixth result is a comparative walkability assessment. So the better street connectivity and the access to the activity nodes improves the pedestrian accessibility in the Chennai Nagar. In other case, the pedestrian movement in Indira Nagar is more time specific and less diverse in the trip purposes. The both neighborhood requires the improvement in sidewalk continuity, pedestrian crossing, and pedestrian oriented amenities. So the sixth is the implications of neighborhood planning. So walkability depends on both internal neighborhood characteristics and surrounding land use context. The targeted interventions can significantly improve the pedestrian comfort and safety. The integrating the walkability into neighborhood planning creates the exclusive and accessible and livable communities. By embedding the walkability into neighborhood planning, cities can create a healthier and more vibrant and people-friendly environment for all. And in conclusion, the study analyzes the walkability in Nagar and Nagar using GIS-based spatial analysis and the street inventory surveys. So, surrounding land use context strongly influence the pedestrian activity and accessibility and walking behavior in the residential neighborhood. Nagar demonstrate the higher walkability due to mixed-use commercial surrounding, better amenities, and stronger street. The connectivity while Indranagar shows more time-specific pedestrian movement influenced by the institutional land use. Both neighborhoods faces the pedestrian infrastructure challenges such as discontinuous sidewalk, encroachment, inadequate crossing, and limited shades affecting the pedestrian safety and comfort. Enhancing the pedestrian infrastructure and accessibility to daily service and context-sensitive neighborhood planning can support the sustainable, accessible, and livable urban environment. So, in policy and planning recommendations, urban planning policies should promote the mixed land use development to improve the accessibility and encourage the walking. So, neighborhood planning should prioritize the highly connected street network with uh, is better pedestrian permeability. Continuous accessible and universal design pedestrian infrastructure should be provided along all streets. The pedestrian safety can improve through marked crossing, traffic calming measures, and reduced vehicle speed in the residential area. Streets should include the pedestrian-oriented amenities such as light, seating, shading, greenery, and regular walkability assessment to support the sustainable and livable neighborhood. So, in future limitation and the future research should include the major, more urban with varying densities, socioeconomic character, and urban form, incorporating the perception-based surveys and behavioral data can provide deeper insights. The longitudinal studies can capture these changes and provide more dynamic understanding of walkability. So, addressing this research will help develop a more comprehensive understanding of walkability and supports the data driven and people centered neighborhood planning in Chennai cities. Thank you.